How's it going? So today I'm going to install the remote start on my Impala. It's long overdue. It's getting kind of warm. As always, I only do this in one shot. I don't have any editing software. So I'm going to actually break this down in a few videos. This one might be the longer one, and then after that it'll be short videos as to the process I'm going through during that time. And unless your car is a 2000 Chevy Impala, things are going to be a lot different or a little bit different depending on your vehicle. But again, this is more of a guide with this particular alarm, and this is of course the Easyguard EC200K. Real quick, we're just gonna go over some basics. The 6-point harness, this one's the big one because this one has the ground for the whole alarm, the power to the whole alarm, and this is what's gonna start your car. It's a lot different from the Crime Stopper I have in the car. This one has only 5 pin connections. It's missing one, and it only has 2 ignitions, which is for your actual ignition to keep your car on once it starts, and to start your AC once the car is on. Has your 12 volt, which only has 1 wire. I don't know why the Crime Stopper had 2. That was always kind of weird for me. The ground is actually on this harness, and the starter to start your car. So there's that. The big intimidating one, because all of this is kind of pretty intimidating if you don't know what you're doing, but it's pretty easy because you don't need a whole bunch of the wires. Orange, white, and yellow, whether it be with the black line or not, are all for your lock and unlock. Okay, so for my application, I don't need the orange at all. These yellow are going to be combined together to a ground, and the whites are going to be the ones that unlock and lock my stuff, and they're going to be negative. Brown wires, as I mentioned before, one of them is going to go for my parking lights. I don't know why there's 2 of these, but one of them I'm going to use for my horn. I'm going to have to convert it into a negative, which I'm going to have to use a relay for. Red, black, trunk. Again, I don't know why this one doesn't have a fuse, but it says it's positive. If it is, I have to convert it to negative because my trunk is negative, and again, I have to ground it out, use a relay. Kind of a bummer. Black, yellow, brown, black, and pink, red. I'm not going to use. I actually taped them off. I have them at an offset. One of them's cut at the tip, the other one's a little bit below, so they never touch each other. There's no short. And I wrapped them up. This is fine. I've never had a problem with that. Same thing with these ones. These ones are actually inputs, but it doesn't matter. I offset them, tape them up. The one I didn't is the pink, and this one, if the alarm ever goes off, it's positive. I am gonna tape off, but I didn't tape with these other ones. I'm not gonna use, for the reason that I may need to plug in the alarm if I ever have to program any more remotes or whatnot. You need to hear how many chirps to make sure that it is in the mode you need it to program that stuff. That's it. That's that big intimidating harness. That's all it is. This particular alarm is actually pretty weird. It's usually just 3 wires for unlock and lock, and there's 6 here. No good reason. The final harness, red, not gonna use. I don't use my window stuff. I don't have them roll up. Green, positive. Right now, the Impala sits at a positive because I had to make it that way with the last alarm. It kept tripping. After 8 minutes of locking it, the car itself tripped the alarm for some reason, and then I would have pretty angry neighbors, I'm sure. So I had to put in my own triggers, door triggers, and did a positive on it. But I might do negative this time. I'm not sure. I did already cut off, so I'm almost positive that it's going to be negative. Foot brake, there's already a wire in there. If I remember correctly, it is negative. Again, all this stuff is going to get tested before the car gets put back together. Handbrake, not going to use it. It says if you don't want to use it, you have to ground this wire up. That's what I'm going to do. Starter detection. Gray wire. It also says on the instructions, if you're not going to use it, go ahead and put it on the brown wire for the big 6-pin harness. So that's that. Everything else, I mean, your LED, everything just kind of connects, your sensor, your little deactivation switch here, your antenna, all that stuff is pretty straightforward. Again, I will repeat this. I did say this in my previous video when I went over it. And now that I have everything better or worse put together, my starter wire, my yellow wire, I think I'm going to snip this one. This is the kill switch relay for if your alarm goes off, this doesn't let your car start. Again, I don't really ever put these on them. I am going to put it here. The reason for that is this guy's going to be at 12 volts, which is going to go into the red one. This guy's going to go to the negative trigger switch that's under my hood. So if that hood is ever open and I ever accidentally push the start button, it's going to kill it and it won't let it start. Do something just similar to this on your car. This one doesn't have something included on it. The Crime Stopper did. Rather than cutting your car's harness and putting this in there for your starter, do it here. All right? If somebody breaks into your car, they're gonna steal it. If somebody already went through the trouble of opening it and getting into your alarm, the alarm is only there to make noise, to kind of let you know, hey, my stuff's getting stolen in my driveway. I've never in my life seen somebody in the parking lot and said, oh, look, that guy's stealing the car, the alarm's going off. And I've never had the instinct to call the cops, because for the most part, it's somebody that, like me, the battery's dead, they open up their car with the key and it goes off, and it trips the alarm. So again, chances are cutting your harness and putting this under won't help you, but I guarantee that cutting this and putting this in there so that your remote start doesn't work in case your hood is open, you're working on it, is 110% gonna help you a lot more. So again, this one is gonna be the longest video. I'm gonna show you smaller videos as I progress with the install.